Welcome to Learn Africa, where we embark on a journey to explore the heartbeat of the world, one nation at a time. Africa is not a monolith, it is a tapestry woven from 54 distinct threads, each with its own texture, color, and story. Today, we begin our journey with a nation that stands as a beacon of pride for the entire continent. A land that was the first in sub-Saharan Africa to break the chains of colonialism. A land where the ancient rhythms of the Ashanti drum still dictate the pulse of modern life. We are traveling to the Republic of Ghana. To the world, it is known as the gateway to Africa. To history, it is known as the Gold Coast. But to those who walk its soil, it is simply home, a place where the warmth of the sun is matched only by the warmth of its people. From the chaotic, vibrant energy of Accra to the silent, sacred groves of the interior, this is a country where the past is not just remembered, it is lived. In this episode, we will go beyond the headlines. We will walk through the castles that hold the ghosts of history, explore the rainforests that breathe life into the region, and sit with the elders who keep the wisdom of centuries alive. Let's discover Ghana, the gateway, the story, the spirit. To understand Ghana, one must first understand the land itself. Situated just a few degrees north of the equator, Ghana sits firmly on the Gulf of Guinea in West Africa. It is a nation carved out of diversity, covering a total area of nearly 239,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of the United Kingdom or the state of Oregon. Its borders tell the story of colonial demarcation and regional brotherhood. To the west, it shares a border with Côte d'Ivoire, to the north, the arid lands of Burkina Faso, and to the east, the narrow strip of Togo. But it is the southern border that has defined much of its destiny, a glistening, 540-kilometer coastline facing the Atlantic Ocean. This coast is a place of stunning beauty, lined with coconut palms and sandy beaches, but it is also a coast of jagged rocks and strong tides that once brought ships from faraway lands. As we move inland from the sea, the geography shifts dramatically. The southern coastal belt consists of low, grassy plains and scrublands, intersected by several streams and rivers. But as you travel north, the land rises. You enter the Ashanti uplands and the Kwahu Plateau, a region of rolling hills and dense tropical forests. This is the green heart of Ghana, where the rainfall is heavy, and the earth is rich with minerals. Dominating the eastern side of the country is one of the world's geographical marvels, the Volta Basin. Here lies Lake Volta. Lake Volta is not just a body of water, it is the largest man-made lake in the world by surface area. Created by the Akosombo Dam in the 1960s, it snakes through the country like a silver spine, providing electricity, transport, and a livelihood for thousands of fishing communities. Further north, the humidity of the forest gives way to the drier, hotter savanna. This is a land of baobab trees and open grasslands, where the Harmattan winds blow from the Sahara Desert between December and March, coating the country in a fine, dusty haze that lowers temperatures and creates spectacular, orange sunsets. And at the center of it all is Accra. The capital city is a sprawling metropolis on the coast, a mosaic of colonial architecture, modern skyscrapers, and endless markets. But geologically, Ghana is a land of stability. It sits on ancient rock formations, shielding it from the earthquakes that plague other regions, providing a solid foundation for the civilization built upon it. But a country is more than just soil and water, it is flesh and blood. Today, more than 33 million people call Ghana home. It is a nation brimming with the energy of youth. With a median age of roughly 21 years, everywhere you look, you see the future, young entrepreneur. Students, artists, and innovators who are reshaping what it means to be African in the 21st century. The Ghanaian identity is built on a foundation of profound hospitality. There is a word you will hear the moment you step off the plane, Ekwaba. It means welcome. But in Ghana, welcome is not just a greeting, it is a cultural mandate. To be a stranger in Ghana is to be treated with extra care, offered water before you are asked your mission, and given a seat before you are asked your name. While English serves as the official language, a legacy of British rule that now acts as a unifying tongue for business and government, the streets of Ghana speak a different symphony. There are over 70 recognized languages and dialects spoken across the 10 regions. The most widely spoken indigenous language is Twi, the tongue of the Ashanti and Fenty people. But travel a few hours in any direction, and the sounds change. In the southeast, you hear the rhythm of you. In the capital, the GA language dominates traditional quarters. In the north, Dagboni and Hausa fill the air. Despite this linguistic diversity, Ghana is remarkably unified. It is a secular nation with deep religious devotion. Roughly 70% of the population identifies as Christian, filling massive cathedrals and small roadside chapels every Sunday. About 18% follow Islam, predominantly in the northern regions and the Zongo communities of the cities. Crucially, a significant portion of the population still adheres to traditional African religions, honoring ancestors and the spirits of the earth. What makes Ghana unique is the harmony between these faiths. It is common to find a mosque next to a church, and for families to celebrate both Christmas and Eid together. Religious tension is rare. Here, you are Ghanaian first, and everything else second. This social cohesion is the glue that has held the nation together while neighboring countries have faced civil strife. The roots of this nation go deep into the bedrock of time. Long before European ships appeared on the horizon, complex societies thrived here. History tells us of the great migrations in the 11th and 12th centuries, where ancestors of the current Akan people moved south from the ancient Ghana Empire, which was actually located hundreds of miles to the north of modern-day Ghana. They brought with them systems of governance, gold working, and agriculture. By the 17th century, the forest region saw the rise of one of Africa's most powerful and sophisticated civilizations, the Ashanti Empire, Ashanti. Under the leadership of King Osei Tutu I and his high priest Okomfo Enekai, the Ashanti unified independent clans into a mighty state. The symbol of this unity was, and still is, the golden stool, Sika Dwa Kofi. It is believed to have descended from the heavens, containing the soul of the Ashanti nation. It is so sacred that not even the king sits on it, it sits on its own throne next to him. The Ashanti were master strategists, controlling the trade routes of gold and kola nuts. Their capital, Kumasi, was a garden city with broad avenues and complex bureaucracy, rivaling the capitals of Europe at the time. But the winds of change were blowing from the sea. In 1471, the Portuguese arrived, naming the land Costa da Mina, the coast of the mine, due to the abundance of gold. They were soon followed by the Dutch, the Danes, the Swedes, and the British. This contact marked the beginning of a dark chapter. The trade shifted from gold to human beings. For centuries, the coastline was dotted with massive stone fortresses. Cape Coast Castle and Elmina Castle stand today as haunting monuments to the transatlantic slave trade. Through the infamous Door of No Return, millions of Africans were transported to the Americas and the Caribbean, never to see their homeland again. The horror of those dungeons is woven into the collective memory of the world, but so is the resilience of those who survived. By the late 19th century, the British had established the Gold Coast colony. But the spirit of the POP, the people, could not be conquered. After centuries of resistance, including the famous War of the Golden Stool led by the warrior Queen Mother Yasentowa, the drive for freedom became unstoppable. After World War II, a charismatic leader named Kwame Nkrumah emerged. He envisioned not just a free Gold Coast, but a united Africa. On March 6, 1957, the world watched as the Union Jack was lowered, and the red, gold, green, and black star flag was raised. Nkrumah's voice boomed across the old polo grounds in Accra. At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. Ghana became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence from colonial rule. It was a moment that sparked a wildfire of liberation across the continent. The black star in the center of the flag represents this guiding light, the lodestar of African freedom. If history is the skeleton of a nation, culture is the flesh and blood. Ghana's culture is not a museum exhibit, it is vibrant, loud, and participative. The visual identity of Ghana is perhaps best represented by Kent cloth. Originating from the Ashanti Enu people, Kent is a hand-woven fabric made of strips of silk and cotton. It is not just clothing, it is a language. Each color and pattern has a specific name and meaning. Yellow represents royalty and wealth, green represents the land and harvest, red represents the blood of ancestors. Wearing Kent is a statement of history and prestige. Then there are the Adinkra symbols, visual aphorisms used in fabrics, pottery, and architecture. The most famous, Kainayam, except God, signifies the omnipotence of the Creator. Another, Sankofa, a bird looking backward, teaches us the wisdom of learning from the past to build the future. Governance in Ghana operates on two levels, the modern democratic state and the traditional chieftaincy. In every town and village, you will find a chief, Nana or Togbi, and a queen mother. They are the custodians of customary law, settling disputes and preserving heritage. The grandeur of a Durbar, a gathering of chiefs in full regalia, accompanied by the thunder of drums and the blowing of ivory horns, is a spectacle unmatched in West Africa. And we cannot speak of culture without speaking of food. Ghanaian cuisine is rich, spicy, and hearty. The national dish is arguably fufu, pounded cassava and plantain, swallowed whole with light soup or groundnut soup. Then there is banku with tilapia, seasoned with hot pepper. But the most famous culinary export is jollof rice. A spicy, one-pot rice dish cooked in tomato stew. It is the subject of a friendly but fierce rivalry with Nigeria over who cooks it best. But ask any Ghanaian, and they will tell you, the debate is settled. Ghana jollof is king. Music, too, is the heartbeat of the nation. From the guitar-driven high-life music of the 20th century to the modern beats of hip-life and Afrobeats, Ghanaian music makes the world dance. Artists like Sarkodie, Shatta Wale, and Stonebwoy have taken the sounds of Accra to global stages. How does this vibrant nation sustain itself? Historically, the name Gold Coast was no exaggeration. Ghana remains Africa's largest producer of gold, surpassing even South Africa in recent years. The precious metal is mined by large multinational corporations and small-scale artisanal miners known as Galamsey, though the latter poses significant environmental challenges that the country is currently fighting to manage. But the true backbone of the economy is agriculture, specifically cocoa. In 1879, a blacksmith named Teta Kwoshi brought cocoa beans back from Fernandope and planted them in Ghana. That simple act changed the nation's destiny. Today, Ghana is the second largest cocoa producer in the world. The PE chocolate you eat likely has its roots in the rich soil of Ghana's western and Ashanti regions. The cocoa industry supports millions of livelihoods, from the farmers in the bush to the logistics companies at the ports of Tema and Tokoradi. In 2007, the economy shifted again with the discovery of offshore oil. Commercial production began in 2010, adding black gold to the country's portfolio. However, the real engine of the Ghanaian economy is the informal sector. Places like Kijisha Market in Kumasi, the largest open-air market in West Africa, are hives of commerce where everything from textiles to electronics is traded. In recent years, Ghana has also positioned itself as a technology hub. Major global companies like Google and Twitter, now X, have set up regional headquarters in Accra, drawn by the stability, the talent pool, and the improving internet infrastructure. The government's Digital Ghana agenda aims to digitize services, making the economy more efficient and accessible to the global market. Beyond the cities and the mines lies the wild heart of Ghana. While it may not have the vast savannas of East Africa, Ghana offers a unique, intimate wildlife experience. In the north lies Mo National Park, the country's largest wildlife refuge. Here, you don't just watch nature from a jeep, you can experience walking safaris. Imagine walking on foot, just 50 meters away from a herd of African elephants bathing in a watering hole. The park is also home to baboons, antelope, warthogs, and over 300 bird species. In the forest regions, the biodiversity changes. At the Bobing Fima Monkey Sanctuary, monkeys are considered sacred. The Mona monkeys and black and white colobus monkeys live in harmony with the villagers, eating from their hands and walking on their rooftops. To harm a monkey here is taboo, they are buried with the same rights as human beings. Water is a defining feature of the landscape. Lai Waterfalls in the Volta region is the highest in West Africa, a breathtaking cascade surrounded by lush greenery and millions of bats. Then, there is the mystery of Lake Buzumbu. Roughly 30 kilometers from Kumasi, this circular lake lies in an ancient meteorite impact crater. The Ashanti people believe it is a sacred lake where the souls of the dead come to say goodbye to the Gochu before moving on to the afterlife. The water is calm, surrounded by steep green hills, offering a serenity that feels almost spiritual. For the traveler, Ghana is an adventure waiting to happen. One of the most thrilling experiences is found at Kokum National Park. Here, 7 suspension bridges hang 40 meters above the forest floor. The canopy walkway offers a bird's-eye view of the rainforest, swaying gently with the wind as you walk among the treetops. It is terrifying for some, exhilarating for all. For those seeking history, a journey to the north to visit the Larabenga Mosque is essential. Known as the Mecca of West Africa, this mud and stick structure dates back to the 1400s and is a masterpiece of Sahelian architecture. But in recent years, tourism in Ghana has evolved into a global movement. In 2019, the president launched the Year of Return, inviting the African diaspora to come home to mark 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in Virginia. The response was overwhelming. African Americans, Caribbeans, and Black Britons flocked to Accra, reconnecting with their roots. This has transformed December in Ghana, 30 December, as it is affectionately known, into a month-long festival of concerts, fashion shows, and parties. The OSU neighborhood in Accra never sleeps, with Oxford Street pulsating with neon lights, restaurants, and bars. Yet, for a quieter pace, one can travel to the Volta region to the Toffee Atom Monkey Sanctuary, or head west to Bujua and Cape 3 Points, where surfers ride the Atlantic waves and ecolodgers offer a paradise away from the noise. As we look at Ghana today, we see a nation that has matured. Since the return to multi-party democracy in 1992, Ghana has been a model of political stability in Africa. Power has changed hands peacefully between opposing political parties multiple times, a feat to subscribe to learn more about more countries, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to see the true face of this continent. Join us next time, as we continue to explore Africa, one country, one story, one heartbeat at a time.